And now what I'm going to do is be joined by two of my close friends, my peers, and collaborators on a very special project, Lisa Lunsford and also Cheryl Thompson.
Joining Glenn Stevens, please welcome the Chief Executive Officer and founder of CADIA, Cheryl Thompson. And to moderate the discussion, welcome the Chief Executive Officer and founder of Global Strategic Supply Solutions and Chair of the MICHauto Board of Directors, Lisa Lunsford.
Good morning. How are you? Cheryl?
How are you doing, Lisa?
I'm doing fine. Thanks everyone for joining us for this very important conversation and informative conversation. So Cheryl, I'm going to start with you. Tell us about the CEO Coalition for Change.
The CEO Coalition for Change is a group of automotive CEOs who come together to work on making meaningful change, taking action in the industry to make it more diverse, more inclusive, more welcoming, and to be able to leverage our diverse talent and to impact social justice.
Great. And Glenn, why do what drew you to the CEO Coalition for Change? Because I can remember this conversation, you were just really excited about it. So I want to hear from you. Why this group?
Well, thanks. That is a great question. And that is really, something at the core of why we're here today. For several years, we reached out to a lot of organizations, and we've worked with other organizations on improving the diversity situation, inclusion situation. But I really think there's three things that are different today and why this is so important. One is, yes, our environment as a whole for racial justice and social equity has changed. Thank God it's changed, okay? So that's an opportunity to be part of that. But our work with CADIA actually started in late 2019. When we met Cheryl and Margaret and Jennifer, and we sat down with our team, I remember that meeting in our offices. There was a lot of positive energy, and we just felt like we can work together. If we put our missions together, we can work together. And so I think the leadership of these organizations together is a difference maker. But I think what really makes it go are the CEOs have bought in. 12 founding members, now expanding. They're the ones leading it. We're facilitating it. They're leading it. They're leading the conversation.
Yeah, that's interesting. The 12 founders, and now Cheryl, where are we now? Like Glenn said, we started with 12. Where are we?
Yeah, so we moved from 12. We had 5, or I think we're working on 6 more joining us. So it keeps growing. We had our big launch event in January, which was amazing, and we're just always putting the word out to get more and more people involved.
Well, Cheryl, let's expand the conversation where Glenn was saying that, the CEOs are really doing the work. So what is the work? How is it defined? And, how do you keep us on task? And I'm going to say us because, I'm part of that. And I want everyone to hear this.
Yeah, let me just step back for a moment. CADIA started in 2018. That's when we launched. And we were focused on individuals, the diverse talent themselves. How can we help diverse talent better position themselves for advancement? How do we attract diverse talent to the industry? And then in 2019, we started working with people who are being a champion for diversity, equity, and inclusion inside the industry. So we started with this roundtable. So community, accountability, and content learning have always been at the core of who CADIA is. And when we had the events happen in the spring and summer of last year when George Floyd was murdered, some others were murdered, we started to see some fault lines in terms of inequities. The pandemic has exposed so much in terms of the systemic issues that we have in access, right? So we started having these conversations in the spring and summer. Would CEOs be interested in forming a community to talk about some of these really difficult issues with their peers? So that's kind of the origin and how all of this started. And Lisa, you've been a huge thought partner, right? We had many discussions about how can this group of CEOs impact social justice, right? Because we had so many discussions about how we can all impact change, how other organizations are impacting social justice, but what can these CEOs do It sounds like I'm getting some feedback.
I was just going to tell you, Cheryl, it might be your mic.
Is that any better?
No, you might want to unplug the mic and plug it back in.
I just did that. Sorry about that.
No. Well, we can hear you. It's just not.
We can hear you.
You can hear me. Okay. Sorry about that.
But you're still a little.
Maybe if you refresh your web page, and I'll kind of pick up with where we're at, Lisa.
Yeah.
Cheryl's not here now, so I can say this, but she has been amazing, and Margaret and the team, the passion that they have for this. Oh, you want to test it, Cheryl?
How's that? Is that any better?
Perfect.
Oh, great.
Perfect.
Oh, good.
Yeah.
I was just saying what great partners you've been, but what I think the difference is about these CEOs is that the CEOs are leading it, but the work from the people in, the troops and in the trenches, that never stopped. But now when you've got it going across all of the organizations, and you've all seen the continuum, we have a tool that you can measure where are you at with this right now. And I love that. And I show that to people all the time because you can self-assess. I even went back to companies I used to work with in the past and did a self-assessment. Where were we on this? Where is my employer on this? So it's really exciting.
Yeah. With that, when you talk about the tool, measuring ourselves, CEOs, we always like to think that, everything is going along, we're perfect, but we do want to impact, we want to do something that's really big and to have an opportunity to really touch on social justice and knowing that we are the creators, really of that access through jobs, right? So when we look internally, so I think it's great that working with a group of CEOs, that we all we're really truly assessing ourselves, and we appreciate that, Cheryl, that you brought the tools to us, and it's a safe space, and we're able to say, I'm failing here, but I'm willing to try. Right. That's the main thing. And I think you've had some, you started here in Michigan, but you added members from the West Coast.
We did.
Really excited. And from the South, yes. I think in Kentucky. And did we get anybody from the East, from the Northeast? I wasn't sure about that, but I do know that
Not yet.
We're working on it.
Yeah, that's it. So I want to go with this one question, Cheryl. Where do you see this in about 5 years? Where do you see Coalition?
Yes. So I just see us expanding, all sectors within automotive. So right now it's very heavily focused on manufacturers, but I really would love to see us get into other sectors within automotive. The retail side, they're closest to the customer, right? What better business case is there? Aftermarket, auto care. So really want to see it expand. And I think that the beauty is the CEOs, you are the people with the levers, and you can influence change and systemic change. That's really, really important. The way we hire, the way we recruit, the way we develop talent. And like you said, providing that access to opportunity and career path and providing jobs. So yes, very excited about where we're going to be in 5 years.
I'm gonna. Cheryl and I want to kind of turn it around on you to finish up here. I've seen, we're observers in these meetings, and to see the CEOs speak very frankly, the executives speak frankly about where they're at and where they're going, and even admit, like, look, we need help. Who will help us? And these other CEOs step up and say, you can take my book. Take what I just showed you. It's yours. Run with it. But Lisa, yourself, if you could just close with us and just share with us, because you talk a lot about intentionality and what this means to you and where you see it in 5 years.
Well, I believe in world domination, right? And I believe in, and one of the things as we're going through this, I see it in 5 years where we're not having this conversation, right? Where it becomes more innate. And for me, I look at it within our organization and saying, as I build the layers between me and my front line, or me and the floor, or, I want to make sure that what I feel inside it becomes a part of the fabric of GS3. And I am enjoying it, listening to the large tier ones go through this with me, because they're teaching me and I'm teaching them, because I think a lot of them thought just because I'm a diverse company, I would have the answer. I don't. I don't. I just know I want to achieve the same thing, the same opportunities that everybody else has. So everyone, I would like to say thank you. Thank you for joining us, Cheryl. Look forward to working with you. Glenn, as always, thank you so much. And turn it back over to you.
Thank you.
Thank you.